This is the first time we've actually seen this be the case for Cardano. There is actually a sense of urgency coming from the top surrounding the Cardano ecosystem. And this could actually, in fact, be very beneficial for us moving forward. We're going to talk about that in this video. But I do also want to address a few comments that have come up because there's apparently this huge confusion about Cardano and ADA. Some people don't even realize that they're not the same thing. And I think there's this big confusion about what moves ADA price and how this could in fact move ADA price as time goes on. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, hit that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So the Cardano ecosystem, I think we can all agree, has had some pretty good timing, perfect launches at perfect times. Unfortunately, some of them have been sell the news events, which sucks. Actually, luckily, our most recent hard fork was actually a pump the news event, so that's a great sign. But we finally had some rollouts that have taken place at the perfect time, right as those things, those pieces of development had been actually beneficial and necessities in the crypto market. And I think we can all agree that we're at a really good spot right now as we get into this big boom in the market cycle. And what's great about this is Charles Hoskinson is finally creating a sense of urgency when it comes to really rolling out the perfect product when it comes to Cardano. And what he was asked about was actually some recent key member contract terminations that took place. And what he was actually talking about was Laos. And he said he wants Laos in 2026, not 2028. And I value pragma and different ideas and implementations. No more effing games or delays. Cardano needs to get to the next level. So this is the first time we've actually seen this kind of pedal to the metal approach, because we obviously know development has taken a long time. We've needed to get this product out that functioned perfect. And now it's about get the scalability there, get it to the level of some of these other chains so we can bring in that huge retail use that we're not frankly seeing right now, that I think we can all acknowledge, right? We've talked about this, many times before, and, Cardano TVL kind of low, quote unquote, compared to other blockchains. And again, that's because Cardano is liquid staking. It's very different from other chains in general. So it doesn't get the same calculation essentially as some other blockchains, right? We talk about daily active users somewhere in that, mid 20,000 daily active user range, which isn't very high compared to other blockchains. All right. Now, this isn't a detriment to Cardano because frankly, right now, the number of daily active users on a blockchain doesn't move price of the asset itself. And what's funny is I've seen a bunch of comments surrounding, oh yeah, there's no liquidity and blah, 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 blah. All the same crap, regurgitated garbage that we hear time and time again. Yeah, there's a crap ton of liquidity when it comes to ADA itself, right? ADA sitting at an almost $30 billion asset. There's probably somewhere between $3 to $6 billion in liquidity for ADA itself. There is a lot within the ecosystem as well. Doesn't mean it's actively being used in the ecosystem, but it's there nonetheless. And I think that that's where this huge confusion lies in this thing that this stems from, right? And what I will say is this. So there are different types of products in the space, all right? Cardano itself, not necessarily a retail product right now. Think about the stock market. There are some businesses out there that are not retail businesses. Doesn't mean that they're not good because retail doesn't use them, right? Obviously, Amazon is used by retail, Apple's used by retail, but there are some major companies in the world that provide infrastructure that solve some of those needs. That's what Cardano is right now. If you guys remember, and have followed me here on the channel for a very long period of time, what did I say back in 2023? What did I say would really bring Cardano online in a big way? Enterprise and governments. And we've now gotten to this point where that is where major steps forward have been made. Cardano is in fact being used by governments throughout the world. Not huge use cases currently, right? Because we're still in this kind of early fact-finding phase for the entire world. Remember, we're still only in, 5-6% of the world utilizing crypto. So we're still kind of early on. But that is the stuff that you start to see Cardano mentioned in a much bigger light, where you start to see ADA take steps forward because of actual use in the world, not from retail, but from the bigger entities. Now, can we improve on the retail side? Absolutely. And I think Laos is going to be a big part of that. When you have some of the same speeds as, Solana and some other chains out there, but you pair that with perfect uptime, perfect security, decentralization, that's where you can essentially become, like we've talked about, the Amazon of crypto, the one that does all the things. All right. That is what Cardano is frankly trying to do. It's not bad because there isn't this huge amount of on-chain usage or a huge amount of retail flocking to it currently. In fact, I would say that that's a huge opportunity moving forward, right? Cardano has just had obviously a little bit different focus, but it's shifting more towards being a retail focus, not in just totality, but it's trying to do everything. Hopefully that makes sense for people. And I didn't want to go about this roundabout way to get there, but that's why I think that this argument saying that there's no liquidity and that there's no use and that's why ADA won't do well, it's purely garbage. All right. We are in a time where this is 100% a speculative industry. There are some chains that have done incredibly well and surged and done just stupendous in terms of price that have no use, that don't even have a finished product. It doesn't mean that those are good. It just means that's where the hype and everything was around. Right now, Cardano or ADA itself has some hype around it, but it also has some big use that is coming down the pipeline. All right. There are big discussions that are taking place. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense for people. I just really wanted to obviously talk about Charles Hoskinson and this acceleration that could be taking place in terms of the Cardano ecosystem. These are big deals. And right now, we may be seeing some movement from that in terms of price, but the biggest movements haven't even begun yet. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.